All right, and the recording is going. Well, I want to welcome all my great friends that I haven't seen in so long to the Stealth Persuasion webinar, Capturing the Emotions of Your Website Visitors, specifically crafted towards authors, coaches, consultants, and anyone else who wants to relate to their traffic, understand why their visitors are there, and to make more money. I know I want to make more money, so I'm definitely interested in this. So we're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to be learning all sorts of stuff. There's going to be a live Q&A. You guys can ask me whatever you want at the end here. And I just want to say up front, this is sponsored by the Stealth Persuasion Workshop, and you'll be hearing about that at the end of the webinar, and also opportunity to work with personally. I'm going to give away some free gifts as well. So we're going to have a good time tonight. But Stealth Persuasion. What is persuasion content? We'll just get right into it here. Well, I'm talking about emotional words that drive people to take action on your website, and not just your website, but in your articles to help drive traffic to your site, or even in videos on YouTube. We're also talking about customer-focused words, not talking so much about yourself, but being able to focus on the needs of your customer and your visitor and your prospects. Very important. We're also talking about storytelling. Your personal story is unique to you, and it's what sets you apart from your competition. So you can use storytelling to relate to why your visitor is there and stand out with your unique message. A lot of us have these stories and life experiences, but we're not always so comfortable in expressing them. Also, we want to talk about benefits. Before we get started tonight, I want to explain why a visitor comes to your website. And a lot of the times we believe that it's to get more information about something, information about losing weight, information about curing their anxiety or making more money, whatever it is that you teach. Your visitor is not there for more information. They are there for solutions. They're looking and searching for a solution to a problem, and your benefits and how you explain that on your website relate to the customer. It tells them why they're there. They know that you understand their issues and you're offering solutions. So we're going to talk about the secret benefits that people are expecting, and it may not be what you think. A lot of benefits, we think we know why our traffic is coming and what benefits they're expecting to hear, but often we're mistaken. Okay, look at this gigantic number up here, guys. And 644 million active websites. Now, don't let that scare you, okay? Don't let that scare you. It used to scare me. I used to think, well, how can I get ahead as a life coach or a consultant or any kind of self-help person with so much competition out there? Well, the good news is, guys, is that 98%, actually, I'm going to bump that number up to about 99.3 or something along those lines of sites just act like a brochure, just a business card. They don't engage with the customer. They just don't write from the heart. So that leaves very little competition of people, and a lot of these sites that do write from the heart are some of your favorite ones. They're people that you look up to and respect. And I know that you want to be just like that too. So I've got formulas tonight you're going to learn, you can use this weekend and start right now to change the way that you write. This is heart-centered stuff. So the good news, you don't have to be dull, boring, or too salesy like every other site. You can really reach the heart of your customer and address the things that matter to them most. Those sites do make money, and better than that, they change lives. Here's a few things that we do in our website, some common misconceptions that we have when we begin to sit down and write our content. We overload our visitors with information. Well, we're experts in what we do, and we're also proud of everything we do, so we have a tendency to want to over-explain everything that we do and how we're better than our competition, and just all this information overload. And you want to be very careful that you don't confuse your visitor with too much information. Also, we believe the writing should be perfect, grammatically correct, just very stuffy and just absolutely perfect, like we're reading some kind of dissertation. What really matters is speaking from the heart, speaking in your own voice, and speaking also in the voice of your customer and what they're expected to hear on a daily basis. Also, I catch people in third person, like they're not really part of the website, like we have somebody talking for them. Well, Susan Smith went to college and she's the best life coach in the world. Use I, because it's good to make a personal connection with your traffic. They like to know that it's you and them at that very moment. And writing in third person can actually create a bit of a barrier. Another misconception that we do when we start writing is we calls to action that seem to be very pushy, trying to tell the visitor what to do. It's extremely important that you let the visitor have some freedom to choose exactly how they're going to make the next move. And I'm going to show you exactly tonight how to do that. Well, who am I? I'm Colin. You know, I recognize a lot of the names on here. And I know that some of these people have seen this webinar before, and the reason they're back is because I'm so adorable and it's so full of information. Some of you have been on this thing 3 or 4 times, and I really appreciate that. Some of you this is the first time you've been to this webinar, and congratulations, you are definitely going to learn something tonight and all sorts of great information that you can take with you and start changing the way you write almost immediately after this webinar is over. I also want to thank everyone for their time tonight. I always want to thank everyone for their time because the people who come to these webinars and stay to the end and implement the formulas and things I'm going to show you tonight are serious about their business. So I appreciate the fact that you're here with me tonight. It means a lot to me, but it means a lot to you that you're here. And it should, because it's very important. Your business is important. And I want people to get the most out of it and for you to be able to communicate it with heart-centeredness in mind and going right for the gusto and making people feel better. That's why we're here. Sharon says, yes, I'm adorable. I know, Sharon. Thank you. And I appreciate you being here tonight, too. This is going to be a fantastic time. Well, I'm Colin Martin, if you don't know me. If you do, then you're very lucky. I was Tom Antion's marketing manager for over 6 years. Tom Antion, the famous internet marketer. So I learned how to write copy from a lot of the big names. Plus, I got to rub shoulders with people. Tom also, 2010, promoted me to the head instructor of his Internet Marketing Training Center. So really, you have to kind of know what you're doing if you're going to run an entire Internet Marketing Training Center. So that's, I was really proud to do that. Of course, I'm the former head instructor. But why was I the former? Now, Tom didn't fire me, and I didn't have an accident, and I had to disappear, or I didn't fall off the earth. Well, I kind of did here, but I left for 10 weeks in the wilderness, and I just got back about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Not even 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago. Okay, so you guys are lucky that I actually made it. But look at all that. I stayed in that little blue pup tent up there. I had a spiritual awakening, and I hiked 500 miles. I lost weight, cured my diabetes, blood sugar, all this great stuff. So I really had a great time, but that's why I left. And I left to find these gems. Look at these emeralds, rubies, and aquamarine, all sorts of tourmaline, and all that great stuff. That's really the main reason why I went out there for 10 weeks, was to go through abandoned mines. But you can see my booty here, that I really love gems. And I had a great time out there, so I'm glad I survived all that. Of course, now that I'm not working for Tom anymore, I did start my own consulting business where I write sales letters and teach people copy. And you can see here of all the examples of sales letters that I've written for Tom and myself and other people. And I've written so many of Tom Antion sales letters that most people who've bought something from him in the last 3 years bought something from a letter that I wrote. And you guys probably didn't know that because they thought Tom wrote them. And he was just so happy to have me write his stuff that I learned a lot that way. So I got thrown right out into the wild with copywriting, and I learned a lot from the masters. I'm also in the top 1% of creative writing on Elance out of over 1 million members. I'm really proud of that. All right, enough about me. What can you expect from this webinar tonight? Okay, I have a promise. I'm going to promise 4 things here. I'm going to teach you the words that push emotional triggers. It's fun and it works, and you're going to learn what I mean by that. I'm also going to identify the benefits that visitors care about most. And again, it might not be what you think. You're going to be surprised. Also, how to eliminate sales resistance. That tricky little thing that we've been taught in business school for so many years. The internet's a little bit different than face-to-face sales, and lowering and eliminating that resistance is very, it's unique to the internet. And I'm going to show you a great trick tonight for that. Also, I'm going to have a great Q&A at the end, so stick around for that. Ask me anything. It doesn't have to be about copyright. I have 3 secret formulas that I want to show you tonight. The first one's going to be the super awesome benefits identifier formula. I know that's a mouthful, and it's kind of wild, but you guys are going to see just how easy this is tonight, and it really makes a huge difference. The wee calculation formula, okay, that has nothing to do with the bathroom, okay? It's a special calculation online free tool that I'm going to share with you tonight that tells you if you're talking too much about yourself, egotistical, or not enough about your customer. And also, the great thing, the love conflict secret formula. Why do I have a little heart next to that? Because I invented this myself, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm in love with it, and it really makes people curious, and it makes the next step and helps lower sales resistance. And it's a really formula, and I want to share with that tonight. Also, if you see my smiling face there, you can see that face there. It's just a recent picture of me taken at the mall. If you see that smiley face, it means write it down in blood, take note, make a bookmark, something, because I'm showing you a super stealthy persuasion trick that works every time. Okay, don't fear. Sometimes I think that the fear of writing is just underneath public speaking in terms of people being nervous, okay? A lot of people have a hard time expressing their emotions and expressing their thoughts in writing because it's exposing parts of your inner self. But I just want to tell you tonight that that's exactly what you want to do to help relate to your traffic. You want to expose yourself and be one of them, and you don't have to fear. This is going to be very easy, and I have the formulas will help you get past any of those barriers tonight. Of course, I want to give you right now, for getting here early and being a part of this webinar, I want to give you a free gift tonight. You can see this picture. That girl's really excited about getting that present right there. You know, it's okay, I admit that's a picture of my girlfriend, and you know, I don't give her that too many gifts, so she really got excited about that. Okay, I'm just joking. I'm going to go ahead and pick someone at random here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, and this is really cool, I'm giving you a recorded video screen capture website critique. I'm going to look at your website, just give me your URL, and I'm going to go over it with a screen capture video that you can watch over and over, and I'm going to point out how to make your website more search engine friendly. It's a $100 value that I do for many clients and big name people, and I'm going to do that tonight. And I'm going to pick a name here, and let's see. Well, heck, I don't want to pick a name. Who wants it? Go ahead and put yes, I deserve it, or something, or me in the chat box. Let's get this party started here. I want to find someone who really wants this thing. Tom says yes. Sharon says yes. Jay, me. Kim, yes, I would love to win. Kim. Let's see. Anybody else out there want to pipe in here real quick? I'm ready to give this thing. Okay, here it goes. And there's a chance for some more gifts to hang out towards the end. But tonight, right now, free gift is the website critique $100 value is going to Harry James. All right, Harry, thank you. And Elizabeth says she'd like it as soon as her website is worth looking at. Okay. Yeah, right, Elizabeth. That's funny. Okay. Your website's fantastic. All right, Harry, you won tonight. All right, buddy, I'm going to send you, all you need to do is send me your URL here. You can even just type it in the chat box so I know what it is, or you can email me, and I'm going to give you a website critique. All right, let's move along here. Why is emotional content important? Why? Well, first off, and this is important for all of us trying to help real people, especially as life coaches and consultants and our self-help business people like ourselves. Most of my community are self-help people. They're self-help gurus trying to help others. Well, you know what? That takes building a rapport, a trust, and a credibility before anyone will do business with you, okay? So emotional content is extremely important in reaching the heart of your visitor, and you have to do it quickly, and you have to do it precisely. Also, when people are emotionally involved in your business and your website and your content, they come back. They come back to read your blogs over and over again. They subscribe to your YouTube channel. They come back. It also decreases bounce rate. What's a bounce rate? A bounce rate is how fast someone leaves your site. And right now, the average person or the average visitor that comes to your site comes and goes in less than 4 seconds. They look at it, they scan it real quick, and they go, this isn't for me. Well, when you have emotional content, they stay longer and they get more involved in reading it and more involved in the philosophy that you're teaching. And of course, they stay longer. It also tears down the walls of resistance. If you don't act pushy and you're touching the heart of why they're there and offering solutions, then you definitely can tear down the walls of resistance. Can everyone still hear me out there okay? I just want to make sure the recording is going to come out. If you can hear me decent. Okay, thank you guys. Barbara says, oh, you sound so sexy. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Barbara. Thank you. I love you guys. Okay, I want to talk about another thing that's important about emotional content. It has everything to do not with your visitor now, but with your search engine Google, the big master Google who dictates where we show up in the search results. Emotional content has everything to do with that, and I'm going to show you why. First off, low content websites are going to go ahead and they're going to be banned by Google. Google can tell if content is low or no one cares about reading it. Also, are people sharing your stuff? Are they sharing it on Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and all these places? What kind of experience does the visitor have? Are they staying longer? Are they engaging? Are they leaving comments? Also, higher results for websites that people like. So if people like your website, you'll actually be rewarded with higher search positioning. But you're probably thinking to yourself, how does Google even know if somebody likes a website? Well, they're sneaky with their little algorithms, and here is exactly what they can find out about your site. First off, if people are coming back. Secondly, if people are leaving comments. Google knows if they're sharing on Facebook and Twitter, and especially Google+. Okay? Stickiness means how long people stay on the site. Google knows exactly how long people are staying on the site, and if they're staying on the site for longer periods of time, watching videos, engaging with the content, generally getting something out of the site, Google knows that and will reward that site, yours, with higher search positioning. Emotional content to your visitor means understanding your prospect, and we talked a little bit about that before here and just a minute ago. Understanding why is your visitor there, identifying the benefits and solutions and problems that they have. They came to your site for a reason. Do you know what that reason is? Also, we just talked about feeling comfortable with your writing. Part of that is addressing some of the taboo things in your industry or emotions or concerns that most people or your competition may feel afraid to address or just for whatever reason doesn't get around to it. Addressing taboo emotions where people don't generally tread is a powerful way to reach the heart of your visitor. Also, well, both of these basically have everything to do with finding comfort in expressing your emotions. And this little quote here I have at the bottom, comfort in expressing your emotions will allow you to share the best of yourself with others. So just putting that aside and maybe meditating that on that a little bit or thinking about that every day, being comfortable with being able to write. The formulas I show you tonight will make it that much easier. One thing that we do that we want to try to avoid is writing jargon, making it sound too scientific or too clinical. We want to write in our own voice and possibly, if you can identify it, the voice of your visitor. How do they speak? What is their peer group like? Because we're educated, a lot of us with these PhDs and all this, doesn't mean that we want to be in the ivory tower when it comes to presenting our philosophy to our website visitor. Okay? This customer here, and I'll give you an example of this, my customer or a client I had sent me this piece of copy and they said, what do you think about it? And they wrote, our weight loss system has helped thousands of women just like you to lead healthier and happier lives. That's not bad. I mean, I looked at it and I said, it's very typical of an ad. You know, I kind of liked it. But what I started thinking to myself was, it sounds a little like a brochure. What if I personalized it a tiny bit and tried to relate to the traffic and try to get inside the head of how it would feel if someone really did lose weight? So I wrote back and said, butterflies of excitement ran through Lisa's body when she stepped on the scale this morning. our product had really worked. When's the last time you felt that way? Now, what I did here was I created an event, a personal event that the actual visitor would go through if they bought the product. So we talk about butterflies of excitement. I also used a person's name, Lisa, just a made-up character, but it identifies someone appear like themselves. Then I talked about when's the last time you felt that way. I created a question so I could have, so the visitor would create an affirmation in their mind, either saying yes or no, or just saying something that brings the reader in to the conversation. And when I sent that back and they used that piece of copy, there was a 22% increase in sales. So this stuff really works. Another thing we often do, and not because we're bad writers, it's just we're thinking about it a little bit differently, is we like the process. We like to explain exactly how everything works, but we're forgetting about the benefits that really matter. This client sent me this little piece of copy that said, our new technology, this was a carpet cleaning here in town actually, and it says, our new technology will clean your carpets with more power and reliability. Super Clean does the job that others can't. Very typical kind of advertising, very typical brochure-like pitch, something you'd see, on TV or, an ad in the paper. Well, I wanted to carpet cleaning. I'm thinking, well, what kind of benefits are really about carpet cleaning? Well, there's benefits of time and cleanliness and being able to spend time with your family. So I wrote, fresh, clean carpets for your children to play on and more time to spend with them? Yes, Super Clean can do all of that. Well, I didn't really write it too much different, and in fact, it's not even any longer than the first one. But I talked about two things here that really matter to people, family and time. It's the two things that are most important to people. So I used secret benefits that really matter to people and just inserted those into the copy here. And of course, there was a 32% increase in new leads when the company started using that, and it's a local company here in town. Elizabeth says in the chat box, is that the same Lisa that said jewelry? No, but it's amazing how I constantly use the Lisa word. Elizabeth, that's funny. Thanks for noticing all that, okay? That's a little inside thing between Elizabeth and I. It's funny. Okay, another thing you want to do is avoid hype. It's easy to get hyped up and excited about our business, guys, because we love it. We know it works. We're the experts, and you know what? We're proud of our business. We're proud of our philosophy. We spent a long time refining this, okay? So it's easy to get carried away. But anytime you start talking about just how great you are or how horrible the competition is or how much money you can make, you're always missing the little things that make people feel comfortable and cozy, and sometimes that's exactly what you need to try to reach the heart of your visitor. So of course, another client sent me this copy, and I can't believe this, make $21,000 a day with this proven system of internet affiliate websites. This is for real, okay? 130,000 customers, can't be wrong. Well, that sounds good because, I mean, who doesn't want to make $21,000 a day? The problem is that can be that can just sound overwhelming to people, and it kind of scares people. It also sounds like, yeah, right. So you want to be careful on exactly, putting real numbers and just using only the highest results and trying to hype out your business. And if you think that you don't see ads like this, you think I'm making something like this up, I mean, I ran across this ad today, and it says, create 23 different income streams and earn upwards of $2,000 while you sleep at night and recruit without ever having to cold call. My friends, if I had 23 different income streams to worry about, I would never get any sleep. Okay? I mean, that would keep me up. I can't live like that. That's crazy. And of course, recruit. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be in the military. I'm not in charge of like recruiting people. All this just sounds very shady to me. Of course, credit card not required. You've seen that before. Well, I decided to try to send this company back a different kind of piece of copy. And hoping, praying it would work. But I wrote, Bob no longer worries about being fired. The lifestyle he's created with our affiliate income websites has given him the freedom and peace of mind. So in today's recession, kind of recession worried, people worried about their jobs and not sure what's going on anymore, usually affiliate income is something that can supplement that so you're not so worried. So I just wanted to focus on the benefits and comfort of having extra income instead of worrying about trying to manage a business that makes $21,000 a day. Okay. Also, and I didn't want to talk about 130,000 customers because it sounds like a group mentality. I wanted to talk about Bob. You see, again, I used a fictional character. I don't know who Bob is. I'm just making this up. So I used Bob to have the person relate to someone just like them. So the visitor goes, well, Bob, I have the same concerns as Bob about being fired, so maybe I should look into this affiliate income. Of course, I was proudly shocked that there was a 44% increase in their opt-in to their newsletter. So I was on to something here, I thought, and I realized that there are real benefits that people care about. You know, I'm not the first one to invent this stuff, but very few of us really realized what matters to our visitors. We know what matters to us, and we have to be able to reach in and project that out. Time, family, and freedom, the three big benefits here that people really care about. This is extremely important. Other ones are peace, dreams, always respect people's dreams, comfort, ego, and prestige. And you can see the smiley face there. That means this is a super stealthy, pay attention trick. These are the benefits that really matter. Time is the one thing that no matter how much money you have, you can't get it back. If you address how your business either saves time or creates time as a value, you're reaching a benefit that's extremely important to people. Sometimes I'll just take 2 or 3 of those, of the 8 there. I don't have to use them all in a piece of copy. But here's my little plug-in-play secret formula. You can see I have 3 color-coded benefits, and I just chose a couple of these here. I just chose like 3, and I decided that I want to rewrite my copy by inserting these 3 in there. So my original copy here, a client sent this to me as well, and it says, we've been so pleased with how popular the juice has been that we got back into the kitchen and have made some delicious juice blends, which we think everyone will enjoy just as much. Well, that's nice. I like this piece of copy really that they sent me because it has everything to do with a personal experience, people going in to the kitchen. You know, it doesn't sound automated. It sounds like, you know, it's handmade, that they really care about juice. They use words like delicious and enjoy. Those are very popular words to throw out there. But I decided to throw in my freedom, peace, and comfort benefits and just change the words around. And I'll even show them how I did it with the color-coded. And I did this. So I rewrote it, you can choose. So I wanted to use the word choose as my freedom benefit. From our delicious apple and raspberry recipe or totally tasty tropical, depending on whether you need to be transported to a serene, that's my peace benefit, country orchard, or a desert island, the comfort. So I identified and injected my 3 benefits that matter most into the copy to get it away from process and address the benefits that matter most to people. And you can see there, if you just pick a couple and throw them in and pick a few words based on the benefits that people really care about. And of course, there'll be a recording and slides, and you can see these benefits and keep them in a little checklist when you're writing your copy and make sure that you inject those in as well. But there's something here that was even slightly more important to the conversion here. And of course, another thing I did was I also mentioned the name of the brand. You always want to mention the name of the brand. And transported, you know, use these kinds of words that set people apart. But there's one thing here, and I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it? I'm going to outline it for you. In the first copy, they mentioned the word we 3 times, and they didn't mention the word you. In the second piece of copy, I didn't mention the word we at all, and I mentioned the word you twice. Why did I do this? Okay. This is called customer-focused words. There's inward and outward marketing. Inward marketing means you're talking about yourself too much and you're not addressing the concerns of your visitor. Outward marketing means you're saying words like you and yours, literally reaching out of the website and pulling people in with the word you and yours. Now I have this little heart here you can see, and then why did I put that heart there? Because has anyone, I know you guys have been on dates. How long does a date last if all you do is talk about yourself? It doesn't last very long, and it looks like you're not concerned with your date's problems or issues or her life at all. You don't want to talk about yourself, and we like to talk about ourselves, or we end up getting caught talking about ourselves too much in our web copy because we're just proud of us. We're proud of ourselves. We're proud of our philosophy. But using customer-focused words can help bring people in. Well, lucky for you, you guys don't have to be a professional writer, nor do you have to hire one. Julia says her dates last 10 minutes or 1 cup of coffee. Well, Julia, you're a tough cookie, anyway. Guys, you don't have to be a professional writer to understand if you're writing customer-focused words. And I have this free tool. I'm going to show it to you right now. Check this out. This is totally awesome. Look at this. It's called the Wee Calculator. And let me go back over here. Here is the address, futurenowinc.com/wee.htm. Very simple. You can write that down, or there'll be a recording. You can see it in the recording. You want to talk about your customer 2 times as often as you talk about yourself. Here's the stealth persuasion happy face. Let me show you this calculator. Look at this thing. Now what I've done here is right here, there's a link that says run the customer focus calculator on your text or ad copy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a piece of email that I sent. You can use anything. You use blog post, email. It doesn't really matter. This is an email I just sent out the other day, and I want to make sure that I'm checking my focus here. And let's go back to the Wee calculator. Click on the link. And you just paste it in this text. As simple as that. Paste. Test your Wee score. And it says, my customer focus rate is 88%. My self-focus rate is 11%. I'm talking about my customer 8 times as often as I'm speaking about myself. Excellent. Okay, this is such a great tool and fun, you guys. You can have a blast with this. You can analyze every page of your website. Doesn't matter. All the copy. And I just did an email right there, so I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to go back. And you can do web pages too. Here's a web page. This is my sales letter that I just sent out to everybody about my new mentor program. And I'm just going to actually paste this thing in here and copy. This is just good old web page material. And let's see here. I'm going to go back to the Wee calculator, and I'm going to paste this in. There's my new sales letter. Test the Wee score. Again, 88% customer focus to 16. 5 times as often as you speak about yourself. Excellent. So I'm doing a good job here, thank goodness, and I'm really happy about that. But you can use this Wee calculator. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat to everybody. Let's see, it's HTTP. Bear with me a minute. See if I can do this. Yeah, I'm going to paste this in to the chat box. I think. I'm trying. Well, I'm not going to mess with that too long, but you guys can see it here. It's right here. So when you can listen to the recording or want to write that down, Future Now Inc., totally free. So this is really neat. It's a fantastic resource, and you guys don't want to go any further with any of your marketing or writing until you check this out, because this makes a huge difference. I follow it, and I've noticed, here's a trend that I've noticed, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. All the big marketers like Jeff Herring and Tom and Mike Stewart and even Frank Kern and a lot of big people, their stuff is testing extremely high. There's a concurring theme here about people that make a lot of money and customer focus. So just use that and make sure that you're testing that. It's just fun. You can try it. Don't try it now, but you can try it later. And of course, the recording and the slides will be available tomorrow, so you'll have that address and you can try it for yourself. There's two powerful elements that I want to talk about in lowering sales resistance. And I've borrowed this from authors and really good copywriters, and this has been a lot of fun, and I've experimented quite often with it. Ads take their cue from creative writing. If everyone's been to a creative writing class, there's three elements to a good story. It's kind of like a beginning, middle, and end to a story. And first off, it's love and conflict and a resolution. Perfect story outline's very simple. For instance, the love part. Well, Barbara was an 18-year-old, and she just decided to have her first great vacation over in Europe, and getting away from school and being with her friends and having the best time ever, meeting guys, just the chance of a lifetime and the experience of a lifetime. The conflict. Someone breaks into her hotel, smashes the door down, and drags her out, kidnaps her, binds her, throws her in a van, and takes her to some undisclosed location. The resolution. Super dad comes flying over to Europe, kicks all the bad dudes' butt, saves his daughter, saves the day, brings her back home, everybody's happy. Well, okay, that was just the movie outline to Taken with Liam Neeson. Basically, if you haven't seen that I just totally threw out there as the three elements of creative writing, just like every other story and movie out there in the world, okay? Ads borrow from that. Most ads will have love. Our beautiful carpet cleaning machine will sparkle your carpet and make it fresh as a daisy. And the conflict, especially if you have dogs moving in and they're pooping all over the place and not getting outside in time, or newborns spilling grape juice all over the carpet. And then, of course, a resolution or call to action. Call us, we'll come over, and we'll clean it, and we'll take care of it. Okay, very simple. That's what mainly ads do, and they've borrowed that from creative writing. But I noticed a trend here, and something that I experimented many years and tested to just see what a call to action or conflict or love, which one of those elements happened to create a big sales resistance with some people. And I often, wondered what was that. So I decided to test and come up with a new theory here. Out of love or conflict or a call to action, one of these creates a very serious sales resistance. Two of these create great copy. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys right now, which one of these do you think you would take away that creates a sales resistance? Is it love? Is it conflict? Or is it a call to action that creates a sales resistance? Go ahead and put it in the chat box. I'd like to see what you guys think about this. Carol says conflict. Tom says call to action. Kathy says call to action. Ted says call to action. Perdita says love. Well, that's pretty negative. Elizabeth says call to action. You guys are doing a pretty good job here. Jay says a call to action. Vicky says conflict. Barbara says love again. Elizabeth says conflict. She changed her mind. Kim says call to action. Well, let me show you something here. And I'm going to show you a little story here. And you guys might have seen this video on YouTube a while back. Dion. Hey, Dion, how you doing? He says call to action. Tom says conflict. All right, let me show you a little story here. And you guys might be familiar with this. There was this beggar, a blind beggar, sitting in the square near the fountain over in Italy somewhere. And he sat there every day. And he needed money to live and eat, so he begged for money. But people sat there all day long in the square, And they went about their lunch day, and they went about laughing and talking. They didn't really pay any attention to him. They just didn't really give him any money. He asked for help. I'm blind, please help. And it was just, the money just trickled in. It really wasn't anything that he could live off of. And people just saw him every day. They got used to him, and they just didn't really give. They would just walk on by, and he would sit there, and he's blind. He could hear the people walking by, but there's nothing he could do. Well, one day this woman came walking by on her way to lunch, and she stopped and she looked at the sign that he had, and she picked it up and started writing something else on the other side. He could smell her perfume, and he knew, he figured she was an attractive lady, and she was writing something. He had no idea what she was doing to his sign, but she scribbled something. She didn't say a word, and she put it down, and she went off to lunch again. All of a sudden, people started to give, and he could hear the money hitting that cardboard mat. And more people started to give, and he frantically scooped up the change and would throw it in his can. More people came by and threw money onto the mat, and more people gave. People gave and gave and gave. Miraculously, he held the can up in his hand, and it weighed a ton. And just the weight of the can alone, he knew that he'd be able to eat good and sleep good that night. Well, the lady came back after she got off of work, and she stopped by to see how he was doing. He smelled her perfume and knew it was the same lady that had written the sign earlier. And he asked her, he said, "What did you do to my sign?" And she replied, "It's the same sign, I just wrote different words." Well, what words did she write on that sign? It's a beautiful day, and I can't see it. I know I get a little choked up too every time I see that, but it's a beautiful message, okay? But using that story I just told you, now which one would you remove? Which one creates a sales resistance here? Is it love, conflict, or call to action? Go ahead and put that in your chat box and let me know what you think now. I'd love to hear from you. Vicky says call to action. Jennifer says call to action. Dion says, Kim says call to action. Everyone got it. Look at you guys putting it in there. That's fantastic. Tom, Jay, Kathy. Everyone says call to action. Great. Look at this sign. The original one that the beggar had said, "I'm blind, please help." What's wrong with that? It's a conflict and a call to action. Okay, he's blind and he's asking for help. Is there anything really wrong with that? When she changed it, though, she left the call to action off and put love, it's a beautiful day, and then a conflict, and I can't see it. His sign, no one gave. Her sign, they gave like crazy. Why did that happen? It's because of the love conflict formula. Sometimes, and more often than you think, a call to action creates an immediate sales resistance for many people. Love, which the beggar didn't use in his sign, can bring the resistance down. The lesson here is you have to trust your visitor to make the right move without strong, pushy, or salesy calls to action. So how exactly do we do that using the love conflict formula? I've color-coded the love and conflict without calls to action on here for certain headlines, and these can be blog posts, they can be article titles, they can be Facebook and Twitter updates, they can be headlines and sales copy, they can be anything. But look at some of the examples I had here. Your product can help people, but no one's buying it. If the real estate market is recovering, why will 48% of agents lose their job this year? That makes me want to learn more about the product or the information without being told to click here or click there. I met the soulmate of my dreams, then he disappeared without a trace. I would want to keep reading if that happened to me. and I would have a more open mind to what the philosophy was without the call to action to help put a sales resistance too early into the message. Here's a good one. Often a bridesmaid, never a bride. How many of you ladies that happened to? Probably just recently. Here's another one. You're so in love with your boyfriend, but he just left you for another woman. Now that's a conflict, okay? You're a great public speaker, and you're not making any money? Well, that's an attention-grabbing, curiosity-building headline using the love and conflict formula that you can, every public speaker I know is not making enough money. Even if they're making a lot, they still don't think they're making enough money. And you can plug that, any industry in there in place of public speaker, and people will it'll raise a curiosity flag, and they'll want to read the rest of the article. Also, you're exercising and feeling great, but you're slowly dying inside. I had a client use that as an opt-in for her ebook, and it increased opt-ins by about 200% because everyone was exercising and feeling great, but okay, why am I slowly dying inside now? It was such a curiosity builder that people they could not resist reading further, signing up, purchasing, or making a conversion, all these without a direct call to action. Okay, right now, guys, and I'm going to give a prize to, I think, another prize out to who I think has written the best one. I want you to try the love and conflict formula for yourself. I want to know if you guys are getting this. And I'm not just sitting here talking like I'm blue in the face or something. I want to know if this is making sense to you guys. Go ahead and try one for yourself related to your business. Put it in the chat box. I'll read them out. And best one's going to get another website critique for me. Maybe a couple other goodies too. So try one for yourself, and I'll wait here for a minute. I'm going to take a drink of water while you guys, no rush. I'm going to take a break here. What I need is that Jeopardy music, you know, like when they're writing down that final Jeopardy question, that do, 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 do. So let me see what we got here. Jay says, you wrote a great book and no one wants to read it. That's good. Okay. Jay, I've had that problem myself. Okay. I understand that. Elizabeth says, you've got a beautiful resume, but still on food stamps. That's very good. I love that one. You guys are doing really, really good here. Dion says, you wake up feeling wonderful, but you're still broke. Well, that's pretty good. Of course, if I was broke, I don't know if I'd keep waking up every day feeling wonderful. So that might need a little tweaking, but that's not bad. You guys are getting it. Let's put waiting for a couple more here. I'm going to pick me a winner. Carol says you're invited to a wedding, but there's nothing left on the registry. What do you give as a gift? Okay, that's good. I like that. That's really good. You guys are doing really good here. I'm going to wait and see if there's a couple more before I pick my winner. You have hands for holding loved ones, but they hurt too much to touch. That's kind of interesting. Ted says, she told you did a great job cleaning her carpet. 6 months later, you couldn't believe another cleaning company parked in her driveway. That's interesting. I like that. That would work with any kind of local business. I like that. That's waking up people. That's funny. I like that you guys are doing a good job. Jay says, you eat healthy, work out, still have that spare tire. Yeah, okay. That's me as well. Well, not recently, but it was. You guys get it. I'm really happy about that. You guys are doing the love and conflict. I've tested this, and it works. And it's fun, and you no longer have to worry about whether a headline or a blog post or a Facebook update is not waking up or creating a curiosity building in your prospect. This is the kind of thing that really resonates with people by feeling the pain, twisting the knife, and getting to the crux of why they're on your site. Okay? Kim says you bought your dream horse, but now you can't ride for physical reasons. Well, that's pretty powerful. That's in the horse niche. This works in any kind of industry and any kind of niche. So you guys are doing really good here. I'm going to go ahead and pick out the winner. And which one do I think was the best here? I'm going to send it to Jay. I really liked this one. You wrote a great book and no one wants to read it. Jay, not only have you just identified what every single author in the world believes, because, it's just the way authors believe no one's ever reading their book. It was a personal favorite of mine because I feel that way all the time. All right, Lisa says, we get tons of requests for the Hawaiian entertainment in the summer, but the rest of the year is dry. You guys are doing a great job. You get it. This is the kind of formula that can help you create lower sales resistance and create a curiosity for any of your products or services. So thank you guys for that. So I got Harry and Jay. I'm giving the website critique to tonight, and you guys are doing a really good job with that. You guys get it. Thank you so much. Okay. We're going to head to a Q&A here. And right now, I just want to ask you, you can put yes in the chat box or whatever heck yes, or whatever you want to put. Did I keep my promise tonight? Did I show you what Google wants to see in website content, the different new rules of search and what they're searching for? Did I explain how a call to action creates a sales resistance using the beggar story there? Did I explain how love and conflict can be persuasive? I didn't do that. You guys just showed me how it can be. Okay, good for you. Did I show you how to increase your customer-centered words with the wee calculator? You guys going to try that when you get off of this thing tonight? I bet you can't wait to get on the thing and check that out. And also, did I explain some of the benefits that are most important? We often think it's money. We often think it's the big fancy stuff, big fancy cars, but it's really sometimes it's as simple as time and it's as powerful as family. So I'm looking at the chat box and it says, cool, yes, thank you, yes. Barbara says, absolutely. Elizabeth says, yes. Jay says, yes, I've been writing notes like crazy. That's good. Good for you, Jay. I can't believe how good you're doing tonight, too. I really appreciate everyone being on here tonight. And just, I have a live Q&A. You guys can ask me anything. It's coming up in just about 5 minutes. But I want to ask you again, was I cute and funny? That's the last thing I wanted to do tonight. I wanted to be cute, and I wanted to be funny. I wanted to be entertaining. And I hope that I did that. I kept my promise of being cute. You can see my cute smiling face there. And I really appreciate you guys being here. Elizabeth says, and cuddly. She says, sweet. Dion says, without a doubt. Kimmy says, yes. Oh, you guys are fantastic. There certainly was entertainment value, Jay says. Thank you. Oh, I'm no comedian here, but I love what I do, and I love you guys being here, and I love that you guys taking this stuff seriously. And I love the fact that with just a few little simple formulas, you can actually change the entire way your visitors interact with your website without it being a big pain in the butt. Dion says, you were cute and funny. Thank you, Dion. I really appreciate that. I could have went on all night with this because you guys are so great. And there's so much more to persuasive content that I wasn't able to get to tonight, such as, what else would you need to know about creating a heart-centered connection with your visitors? One of them is writing in a conversational tone. I would have loved to have explained that a little bit more. Writing in a back and forth style is a very powerful way to create a rapport with your visitor. Also, building a persona. I wish I'd have been able to explain tonight or had a little bit more time to, let's talk about to talk about how we present ourselves, our image and things. That's very important out there in terms of branding our philosophy and framing ourselves as an expert. How would you get other people, especially bigwigs in our industry, to tell their peeps in their community that you're somebody to listen to? How do you frame yourself so that other people talk to you and tell their friends that you are an expert? Are you leading your visitors, which is extremely important, to step-by-step results? When they come to your site, are they just being bombarded with information? Or are you leading them to something where they, 10 minutes later, with a download or an opt-in, they go, wow, I feel better. Or I had my question answered, or my fears have been addressed. Is your copy like that? Also, we talk about YouTube and video and welcome videos and how the whole future of the internet, and the big internet marketers know this, is video, online video. Are your scripts persuasive, or are they just too long and too boring. That seems to be a major problem with a lot of people. Also, what about your social networking? We could have talked about social networking, how to use these love conflict formulas and persuasive content in your social media updates, your Twitter, and your Facebook to generate a huge following of friends and followers. All right, well, I promised a Q&A, and it's coming up in just about 2 minutes, but I want to talk about the Stealth Persuasion Workshop. This whole webinar was sponsored by the Stealth Persuasion Workshop, which are recordings that I did last fall with a live group of dedicated people, and we had a great time on there. They were 24 hours of live webinars that I recorded, and the topics were great. We talked about article and blogging. We talked about creating product launches and getting people all excited. And of course, we talked about crafting the perfect sales letter. I went through a step-by-step module building sales letter that was really informative, and it's been proven to work. Social proof. We had a great workshop where we talked about building your social media following, not just having friends and followers in numbers, but getting them to share and really talk about your business and your philosophy with all their friends, and how do they share on the comments and all the different plugins, and how to get characters to sell for you, just like we talked about Bob and Lisa and these fictional characters I talked about earlier. Everybody knows that advertising is full of Ronald McDonald's and Wendy's and all these people getting characters to sell. How exactly do you do that? What about using situations and stories to brand yourself? Storytelling, making you unique, standing out from your competition with your own unique philosophy. Crafting powerful teleclass and webinar closes. This is some of the stuff we talked about in the workshops as well. How to sell things without them even knowing they're being sold to you. Very, very tricky. We also covered all sorts of other things that are very popular now. Text messaging, using polls, comment marketing, and going to forums, and just a whole bunch of stuff. It was, like I said, 24 hours of video recordings that each had a Q&A, so that everything that I taught in the workshops was clarified at the end by all the attendees. If you want to take part in that tonight, I am also offering this 160-page self-persuasion ebook and 3 hours of over-the-shoulder training. This is where I actually use screen capture, kind of like the webinar critique I gave away as a prize tonight to 2 lucky people, where I actually go through a sales letter and articles, 3 hours of different website techniques, and I break them down one by one, just as if you're looking right over my shoulder. Swipe files is included in the workshop as well. These are the emails that have sold millions of dollars online. Sales letters, emails, not me, but the big marketers that I borrowed, excuse me, from them. They don't even know it. A whole package full of some of the most highly converting copy that I've ever been able to get my hand on. Okay, the workshop tonight, it consists of the 24 hours of webinar recordings, 3 hours of training videos, the ebook, and the swipe files. $730 worth of stuff, big bags of money there. And I'm offering this entire workshop tonight for $97, or just 3 payments of $37. If you're interested in working with me on this and learning all the stuff that we just went over that I didn't get a chance to go over in this webinar, you can take part tonight with the special price, expertwebwriting.com. A couple people that did buy the program. Richard says if he charges twice for the program, he'd buy and tell others to buy. Richard, I did charge you twice. Thank you, because you're a friend of mine. Thank you, and I appreciate that. I'm just kidding. So he says, thank you so much. You're the best and can't wait to work together. These are some people that bought just a couple of weeks ago, and they're happily in their program and learning how to create new copy. Joanne said, you're amazing, Colin. Loving your content tonight. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that. Okay, let me wake up out of that dream. All right. Oh, well, here's a super bonus. Ted says, I would totally recommend this. Anyone considering purchasing this is well worth the money. Jump on it. Thank you, Ted. That was a live chat box testimonial that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. Thank you, Ted. That was wonderful. Definitely a satisfied customer. I'm going to say that again. I would totally recommend to anyone considering purchasing this. Is well worth the money. Jump on it. Live testimonial. Thank you, Ted. Oh, here's my super bonus. If you guys want to buy and purchase and work with me tonight with the Stealth Persuasion Workshop, I have a super bonus that I don't offer to too many people. It's a one-on-one critique and editing of your website, your sales letter, your opt-in pages, anything that you want me to. So not only are you going to learn all that great stuff and be able to implement all this great copy and change the way that you write forever, you get to talk to me, call me on the phone, send me something to edit, and I, just like I did in those examples earlier in the webinar that the client sent me their copy, I will help craft new copy for you and raise your conversions. So you can hire me as a super bonus as your personal online creative writing expert editor for free. Okay, that's when I do this for people, it's very time consuming because I'll do it with phone calls. I'll actually rewrite things. I'll use screen capture and tell people exactly how they should recraft for higher conversions. It can be very time consuming. So it's a $297 value that I have to charge for people, but I can only take 20 people as well because I don't want to get overburdened and not be able to fill all the requests for the super bonus. So I would suggest that if you want to work with me tonight, that you go over to the Stealth Persuasion Workshop and make that purchase tonight, and you can work with me. So now it's 24 hours of webinar recordings, 3 hours of videos, the book, the expert swipe files, and the one-on-one editing time. Now we're up to $1,000 worth of training for $97, or 3 payments of $37. So I would love to work with you guys tonight. All you have to do is go to Expert Web Writing, and whether you use the payment plan or the full or pay the full price, you'll get all of those things, instant download on the thank you page, access to all the videos, all the swipe files, everything. And then all you have to do is send me your stuff that you want critiqued. You just tell me what website you want me to look at, what sales letter. You can mail me text files. It doesn't matter what you send me. I'm here for you to help you write the best. So if you're a little afraid of doing it on your own, well, I'll do it for you. Okay? And that's my promise to you. I'm going to go ahead and start a live Q&A right now. So go over to Expert Web Writing, and if you have any problems ordering or anything, just write me emails, and I'll take care of it, and I'll make it as painless and fun as possible. And of course, there will be a recording of this tomorrow, and you'll also be able to download the slides, which is really cool, and I'll send that out. The slides are in a PDF, so you can actually go through here and look at the examples and the formulas and everything and the color coding and the step-by-step process. And don't forget to go over to the wee calculator tonight and plug your stuff in. I really want to hear how that's working for you and what kind of results you got. It's very telling, and I've been using that, and it's so much fun. Okay, if you have any questions tonight, I want you to go ahead and ask them now in the chat box, and I'll answer them live. Remember, they don't have to be about copy. They can be about anything. I was the head instructor at the Internet Marketing Training Center. Do you realize how much stuff I had to learn to be the head instructor? How about everything? Okay, and I'm not being egotistical, but damn, I can answer some questions, guys, and I'm pretty qualified to do that. So Sharon says, love you, got to run, but always enjoyed you. Thank you for being here, Sharon. I know that you've seen this webinar a couple of times, and I know that every time you see it, you probably learn something new, and I really appreciate the time you spent and the time that everyone here spent tonight learning this great stuff. So I know it works. We've tested it out. I've spent 6 years testing these theories out, and I feel confident that it will work for you. And before I answer the first question, I want to just give you a brief story about why this is really so important and why it's important that you learn this stuff. Well, my kid moved out. I was a single dad for many, many years, and my child moved out and went to college last summer, and he's no longer in my field of influence here. It used to be he'd come to good old dad, and I would have the answers for him. Well, he got to a point where he didn't want to talk to me anymore, and he wanted to be on his own, and he is not going to call dad no matter what kind of problems he has, okay? And it doesn't make me feel bad. It's just the way it is. Everybody knows that. Any empty nesters realize that. But what happened is that when he does have problems, of course, which have just magnified because he's on his own, he searches the internet. to find the solutions to all his problems. He won't call me anymore. What that's doing is it's taken my sphere of influence, and he's looking towards people like you, my community, the experts out there that help make more money, that help people lose weight, that help people deal with their anxiety, that help people become better at time management, to learn to write resumes, Elizabeth, to learn to study better in school, Barbara. Now my kid is searching towards you guys out there. So I want you to have the best information possible, not just to make money, but to provide the answers and solutions to people like my child who no longer want to call dear old dad anymore. Does that make sense to you? I appreciate you understanding that. And it's one of the reasons that I'm very passionate about teaching people to write concise and interesting and results-based copy that really move people to action and yet solve all their issues. So I'm going to go ahead and get off that story soapbox now and look at some of the questions here. And Jay says, love your stuff. I've got a meeting now. My website is getunstuck.com. Good. I can't wait to do that for you, Jay. Thank you for being here tonight. I look forward to connecting with you soon. I also want to talk to you about working together. I will send you my website critique, and we can work together whenever you're ready to, Jay. I'm here for you. And he left his number. That's great. Kim, thank you so much. This was fantastic. Thank you, Kim, for being here too. Barbara says this is some of the best training I've ever learned. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's a great compliment. I really appreciate that. Vicki says I just loved the formulas and how easy they were. Thank you. And remember, you can watch the recording and download the PDF tomorrow, so you'll have access to the exact formulas and everything. Sharon said, always learn from you and encourage others to take your course like I did. Yeah, Sharon was one of the customers. Not only has she watched this webinar at least 5 or 6 times now, she took part in the original workshops, and the recordings that you'll see Sharon and a lot of other interesting people with all sorts of different kinds of philosophies and websites, and how we went through step by step on those recordings to write good copy. Dion says, how to speed up Twitter followers attraction. Well, Dion, Twitter followers have everything to do with retweeting. When people retweet on their major Twitter accounts, some people have 1 million followers. I don't know how they do it, but I always want to make my copy as best I can, because that's the key to getting a retweet. The retweet is probably the quickest way to build followers when someone's sharing your material. And your material isn't shareable if it's ego, or it's boring, or it's pushy. How many tweets, you guys out there, and I know you've seen this, how many tweets do you get that's just like an automated thing that says, read my new blog post and a link, or earn $1,000 a day with this affiliate program in a link? I mean, that's just boring stuff. No one clicks on that stuff. So basically anyone tweeting that kind of garbage is wasting their time. Using these headlines and things create a curiosity in people. And that's not only do they click on the links and drive traffic to your website, it encourages people in your industry that may have more followers than you, which in my case is just about everybody, to retweet, because people only retweet stuff that's interesting, not stuff that's garbage, okay? So building followers with that attraction has everything to do with this curiosity building stuff and really reaching the pain factor, Dion. So think about that a little bit. Elizabeth says, great stuff. Colin, thank you. I appreciate that, Elizabeth, you being here. You know, you're one of my best friends out there, and I'm so glad that you're here tonight. Dion says, what are some best ways to speed up any process? Well, actually, any of the stuff that we went over tonight speeds up the process of, Dion, let me explain. Whatever you're trying to speed up, whether it's making more money, getting higher search positioning, or getting just anything going, has everything to do with the stuff we talked about, the new rules of search that I talked about earlier. Having people leave comments, having people share your content. If there's no way to share your content, if you don't have any share buttons on your site, then you're leaving literally millions of people on the table, okay, in terms of visitors. People don't share content that's boring. And if you don't give them the ability to use the share buttons, then they have no opportunity to share. What are they going to do? Like, they're going to call their friend up and go, hey, go over to website, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they're not going to do that. It's easier to click the little share on Facebook button. This is the nature of the web here. People, Dion, also, conversions will take place no matter what it is, the longer they stay on your site. So if you are addressing the fact, or you understand why your visitors are coming there and what they're looking for, the way you write that content, they'll stay on the site longer. Your search positioning will go up, so more people will see you. It's like a win-win. And then, of course, the longer they're on your site, the more engaged they are, the less resistance that happens, and the more conversions that take place. It's hard to keep people on a website just because it's pretty, just because it's a WordPress, just because it's got some flash or something or some video. Trust me, it does not mean that people are buying anything or staying on there. I think you guys know what I mean. I've been working in this industry a long time, and I understand. I'm not going to sit here and give you a pipe dream about how much money you can make on the internet. I understand exactly how difficult, more than anyone else out there, how difficult it is to make money. The way you write changes the entire dynamic in terms of keeping people on the site and them sharing your stuff. All of that creates more traffic that's more engaged with a better opportunity to make more money. If you don't care about how you write and everything's just a brochure, Google won't care and your visitor won't care, and you'll be wasting your time and going broke. So there is a dynamic here that's based around copy. So this is important information that I'm sharing with you tonight. Dion says, that's so intuitive and working it that way. Thanks. Well, good. I want to check out your stuff too. And I have a little bit. You've got some really I don't even know what the word for it really is. I'm an author and I'm lost of words, but Dion, your site is very unique. Okay. I love that. It's very engaging. It's something else. You can always call me sometime and we can go over some of your copywriting needs. Kathy says, look forward to starting your material. Thank you so much. Can you comment on writing on Facebook? If tweeting is for getting followers, what is the best use of postings on Facebook or posting for a company? The updates on Facebook are actually about engagement, a more live engagement. Okay, here's what the advantage to Facebook. When people come to a site these days and you have that opt-in, that's supposed to be so irresistible, this opt-in, or you're giving away some great MP3 or ebook, and people aren't signing up. Mainly it's because people aren't signing up for anything anymore. They don't want more email. Their inbox is stuffed full, and there's just nothing that they need so much as to give away their email again. They end up getting so much spam. They don't know if their email address is being sold to every marketer on earth. What they really want to do is just follow you on Facebook and be anonymous for a little bit. They want to read your posts. They want to read the other posts of others. They want some social proof. They want to see people commenting, people like themselves, not just you, the expert, spouting off and making posts, but what are the other people, their friends, what are their friends saying on your Facebook page? Facebook and Facebook posts are about engagement. So with Twitter, it's all about getting the click. You have 160 characters, a very limited amount of space to get a conversion. On Facebook, you have a more open forum. It's the new way of comment marketing and forum marketing. So you want to put engaging things on there that don't necessarily always lead people out to a website. If you're able to keep people and the conversation in Facebook, then you're doing a great job in terms of building your brand. For companies, Kathy, on Facebook, it's not about, come see our new special. It's about addressing the concerns of their friends. If you have any kind of, doesn't matter what the business you have, your business is offering a solution to some kind of issue. And when you ask people their opinions, you address their concerns and let them join in the conversation, then you're building brand awareness. And you don't have to advertise. The advertisement's doing it for you. So here's what you want to do. You want to ask questions on Facebook. What is your concerns about fill in the blank, for 2014, for instance, and let people pipe in with their concerns. And then you go back in and address each one of those comments. Every time one of your friends leaves a comment in on your timeline, then all of their friends see it in their newsfeed. So literally it's spreading the message like wildfire to literally thousands of people every time somebody comments. When you comment back to that person's comment, I don't want to get too confusing here, but when you're engaging in the conversation, you're building what's called brand care, and that you're showing concern, you're showing expertise, and you're addressing the concerns of your followers and friends. If you just post to try to get and this is done quite often, if you just post a link to try to get traffic to the website, and you're not asking people to either like it or share it or leave a comment, then they won't. They might click on the website or the link and go to the website, but without the sharing and the commenting, again, you're leaving tens of thousands of potential customers and prospects on the table by not having your friends engage. So you have to, making a long story short here, Kathy, I'm long-winded, sorry. Try to get as much engagement by asking questions. Sorry about that. Anybody else got any questions? Y'all need to tell me to shut up when I'm going too crazy out there. Let's see some of your other questions out there. Perdita says about video scripts. What kind of, what does it say? Perdita says, what kind of curiosity building should I be concerned with in my video scripts on YouTube? Well, that's a good question. That's a good question, Perdita. What you want to do on YouTube is, first off, don't do what I just did and be long-winded in your answer. You want to keep it as short as possible. The attention spans on YouTube are short. We've run all these tests on YouTube to see how long people stay on a video, and it's about 30 seconds before they leave. Okay, most of us, including myself and probably you guys out there too, ask the person to visit your website or hold up your book at the end of the video. So you offer this tip, and by the time you're just about to say, well, come visit my website for a free gift, or come buy my book on Amazon, they're gone already. So you gave away some tip, and then they got bored, left, and now you're talking to an empty chair. What you want to do is if you're going to give away a free gift, go ahead and say that in the beginning of the video, Perdita, okay? So I would craft a good YouTube video such as this. Hi guys, this is Colin, and I know you're looking for information on copywriting. In just a minute, I'm going to tell you where you can get this free book on copywriting that will change the way you write forever. But for right now, I want to give you this cool tip. Okay, what I did is I anticipated them leaving and told them what they're going to get in the beginning at the end so that they'll stick through the tip just to get the goodie. All you have to do is put that little lead in anticipation about what some benefit they're going to get in the beginning of the video, and they'll stick out to the end. That's something I've learned that's worked on keeping the attention spans higher and the conversions higher and driving the traffic with YouTube. Kathy said that was a fantastic answer. So let others create the content for what you're going to engage others with on the next post. Exactly. Here's, Kathy, what Pepsi did with their Facebook. And Pepsi, good God, I mean, they make money, right? Everybody knows that. They create what's called user-generated or liquid dialogue. And what that means is that they're soliciting comments and videos and stories from their users. So you may, Kathy, have a contest. What's the best thing you ever did in regard with the business that you have? So, for instance, if you have a business about, copywriting, for instance, on my Facebook, I like to have people tell me, what do you think the best headline you ever wrote was, and what kind of conversion did you get? And everyone pitches into the conversation. I didn't have to write anything. I let my people write the content. User-generated content is encouraging people to put their own stories, their own situations, and their own questions into Facebook. And that, not only is it less work for you, Kathy, but you can really drive a ton of interest, because each one of those people posting alerts all their friends that they just posted, and their friend will see in the newsfeed, ooh, Bob wrote this thing on Kathy's site. I mean, who's Kathy? I'm going to go over and check this out. Now you're starting to bring in followers. That's exactly how people do it on social networking, the big markets. So if you have any more questions, if you don't get your questions in tonight, and I know we only just got about 2 or 3 minutes left here, but I'll stay until the last question is answered. But if you don't get to it tonight, or you can't think of anything to say, just email me at videopower@live.com. Also, Harry, if you're still on the line, I don't know if you left or not, I need to get your website address so I can do your website critique prize. Thank you. So if you're gone, well, I'll email you because I have your email, so I'll remind you about that. Love doing the website critiques. They're very telling, okay? If you have any more questions, get them in. Internet marketing, social networking, video marketing, copywriting, ebooks, Kindle, Amazon, anything. I've got the answers. And if you want to ask me any questions, I have a great rapport with my email people. So you can just write me at videopower@live.com, and I'll answer any of your questions at any time. I love engaging with you people. I love seeing that people are getting it, and I care. I really do. Okay. So Dion says, just wonderful ground of being, Colin. Easy to believe you're for all of us. I really appreciate that. I really do. I really am, and sometimes it's hard to say that without sounding cheesy or beggy or unconvincing. And, internet marketing sometimes is boring to me. Sometimes I don't enjoy it when I get up every day. There's something I do enjoy, and it's writing. And it's making people feel better, and it's making people feel good. And I always feel good when anything I do is solving the problems of my website visitors. It doesn't have everything to do with money and all about the money. It has everything to do with that satisfaction of knowing that you've done a job well and that your philosophy really means something to somebody. So I appreciate you understanding that, Dion, and getting it. Okay, that's wonderful. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box as we're going to get going here. I know you guys have family to see and things to do tonight, and I appreciate so much that you're here spending your time with me, because it means that you're serious about your business, and I appreciate that. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and get going. So I just got a few more seconds here to put in any questions if you have them. If you need to write me, you can write me at videopower@live.com, and I'll answer your questions there if you didn't get a chance to do it tonight. There'll be a recording tomorrow with downloadable slides and the whole webinar recording here. So you guys have